Ember, 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 we're gonna light up the fire.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Ember Sessions where we play new music, we meet up with new friends and we share new stories, and we are actually here at the new Loudanclear studio. So yeah, we're going to welcome everyone and we're going to introduce ourselves again. And with our new friends, we've got Dan and Pacing. So yeah, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, my name is Daniel Chia. I'm a saxophonist based here in Singapore.
Woo.
All right.
And I'm
Nice.
Payson. Some of you might know me better as Miss Lou, my stage name. I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, and a music producer.
All right. And we have Pris.
Hi, I'm Pris. Shaker today.
And we have Jia Hao.
Hi, I'm Jia Hao.
And I'm Josh, and we are here to probably just spend some time to find out more about this space. We heard it's a crazy, crazy story.
It really is.
And I think how we met also was so divine.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So we got connected because of Beacon Live sessions, yes?
That's
so
right.
that was filmed at our previous studio at Oxley Biz Hub. And that space was actually pretty new before we got the news that this new space was offered to us. And you have been at the previous studio and you know the size of the place. And this place in comparison is just, I like to tell people it's an impossible space because we could not have willed this into being ourselves. So earlier this year, 2021, we got the news that this space was going to be offered to us. And when we came to tour the space, it's crazy. It blows our mind because this current studio that we're in, this current space, is just half of it. There are 10 other rooms, and we're going to fully utilize it with recording studios, offices, and things like that. And, when the news first came about this space, right, immediately over that dinner table, I had an image in my head that God placed into my heart that it was going to be used for worship. It was going to be used for people to come into this space, to come to encounter God again, So for us to be doing this, and this is the very first video recording we're doing this space.
Yay,
I'm so
exciting.
excited. Thank you
It's so
for being
fun.
here, for doing this. And I'll let Daniel share any other thoughts that he has about the story behind this place.
Yeah, so I think the timing and, this just not being able to be planned by us is such a strong theme. And, when we decided to take up this space, this is a shared space together with Music Elements, a music shop. We decided that in very early January to move, even though we knew our lease was only up in June. So we were just starting the renovation, the planning and all. And, we didn't know that, but, in March, the landlord actually came to us and told us that anyway, in June, we were not going to be able to renew the lease at our old studio
Because he
was
wanted to
going
take it back, yeah.
take it back. So we're just feeling so blessed that we made the decision in Jan. So that really bought us 3 months of time to really do up this place properly and not be caught off guard in March, needing to find a new space. And, like Payson mentioned, it's just such a blessing with the amount of space that we have. And I guess it also brings together many different entities because we were, renting several units at Oxley Biz Hub, but now we get to, have everyone congregate and, and it just feels like one big family, with all the various businesses involved in this space. And, we're definitely going to collaborate a lot more as well. And yeah, we're just so blessed that we really want this space to be utilized. So, even within just among ourselves, there's so many things we want to do, but it's also just, having the ability to have a nice space where we can invite friends, to come make music, shoot their videos. We are hosting several live streams as well. And yeah, being our space and we're not running this, purely for profit, it just relieves a lot of, financial load in that sense. We don't have to run this like a live stream studio or a video production, house. It's just here.
Yeah.
So we can do anything we want really. So we are looking forward to, seeing all the amazing things that we can do out of this space.
Yeah, it's so awesome, and like this whole place, right, exudes like so much creativity. I think for us also, we feel like such a fun place and open space to be in, and to even shoot this episode here is so crazy.
So the song that I'm going to share today is called Into the Blue, and I actually wrote this sometime last year when I was in a place that was not very healthy. I remember feeling really down because at that point, obviously life events were all cancelled and all of the gigs were gone. So a lot of my identity I felt at that point, even though I was already a believer, I felt like a lot of my identity was still built on things that I do. So I am a singer. I am a songwriter. So if I stop singing and if I stop writing songs, am I still who I am? And I felt that very deeply when I was trying to write in my room. We were all kind of like in lockdown at that point and sitting at my old Casio piano and just thinking to myself, being so frustrated because I'm not the best pianist and I wanted to still write songs on my own. And after struggling for a long time, I felt God ask me, why have you not given this part of yourself to me? And I think I just sat there almost like stupefied because I didn't think about that part. Like after learning what it means to be a Christian and a child of God and trying to shake those other labels off, this was that one part I was still like holding on because I wanted to show people that I can write songs and this is who I am and things like that. But the moment I let that go, the moment I realized that and I told God, okay, this is yours. I write songs for you now, and you will be my co-writer forever. Yeah, you will always have an unwritten credit in all my songs. And then this song just flowed from there, just flowed from that place of feeling so down, so broken, and then realizing that, why am I not tapping on the best resource I have, which is God. Yeah. So I wrote this song, and I struggled a little bit with the chords as I usually do. I knew how to play it, but I didn't know how to write it out in theory. So I think I brought this to Daniel, and I think at that point he was a very different person than he is right now. So you want to share your side of the story?
Yeah, I still remember the night that she asked me to help with a chord. So of course I'm like, sure, but I think I was feeling a bit tired or something like that. So she played out for me, and I guess at that stage it wasn't super formed like the chords wise. So I think you had a melody quite strong, and with me, just coming from a theoretical point of view, there are just so many chords that could fit what she was going for. And then I think she was like, no, that's not the one. So I'm just cycling through all my
elimination process,
my
yes.
music theory, but yeah, and I remember, I think at the end of that night, we didn't really get much. I can't remember what was the process, but I remember telling her, at some point that, I'm not really feeling like writing songs. I don't know, just that part of me was not developed. I was like, I didn't really see much meaning behind it. But I think, subsequently through that COVID period of writing songs and also learning to really trust God, and because there's so many chords and voicings that one can play even in just a C major chord, so I think the turning point was, I think in one of these writing sessions, I was just, praying to God and just like, allowing God to lead me in this process and not think too much on the harmony or theoretical point of view. And, suddenly I just had this feeling that I think I do like it, when I'm not overthinking and there's a meaning behind it, especially songs that I resonate with. And I think somehow when we came back to this song, I think things really flowed a lot better. I really can't even remember how we came up with this whole chord structure, but I remember that after that things flowed a lot, So, but that's just been a interesting point for me. Like now, whenever I play, any music, and especially, Christian songs or songs that were written, with God in mind, I don't really think about, what am I gonna do, and just let it happen, So this performance that you're gonna hear is gonna be, that as well.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we'll see what happens.
It's such a real thing. I realized like this conversation of like, do we think about like the skillfulness and theoretical part of music, or like the content of the music, right? And like I even hear like some of our friends talking about like, why can't we have Christian music done in a certain way and in a certain form? And it's like, why is it always just the 4 chords, you know? But then at the same time, it's also like it pairs together with the content, right? And if that content speaks, like even 1 chord would mean so much.
Agreed.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm so excited to hear this Into the Blue song.
Hey, shall we?
Blue light, midnight, looking for words to say. I've been broken, praying for wisdom to guide my way. Cause I've put pen to paper and I would love the spirit to lead this composition, complete this song, yeah. I don't have the knowledge that you do, so take these fingers and flow through and breathe life into the blue, into the blue, into the blue, yeah. Feels like I've been here many times before, living life my way and fall into the floor. And now I'm on my knees and at your door, 'cause I've put pen to paper and I would love the spirit to lead this composition, complete this song, yeah. I don't have the knowledge that you do, so take these fingers and flow through and breathe life into the blue, into the blue, into the blue, yeah, and into the blue, into the blue, yeah. 'Cause I was lost, now I'm found, got my feet on solid ground. I was lost, now I'm found, got my feet on solid ground. I was lost, now I'm found, got my feet on solid ground. I was lost, now I'm found. Oh, yeah, I was lost, but now I'm found. Oh, was lost, but now I am found. I am found. Yes, I am found.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Goosebumps all over.
The
Oh my goodness.
sky is
thank
falling.
you. Yeah, so it really came from such a personal place, I guess, like really just telling God that whatever was dead before, which is, things turn blue, right? And whatever is unknown, breathe life into it. I want you there. Because I know I don't have the skills to, write a song like this on my own. So I need his help. And I think I've realized that a bigger testimony is when God uses your weaknesses to do things that you couldn't have done yourself. So this song is that turning point for me, and I'm so glad that he's gifted me with a song that I can then share with other people, that I can tell people this was the exact point where he nudged me and said, why have you not given this up to me? Yeah, so I'm thankful. Yeah.
I want to tap in that resource too.
Yeah, all have access, I have to say.
Yes,
we all have access.
We all do. I know when you were singing just now, I was like, and when you guys were playing, it was just like, I felt so much warmth. And even when you said like into the blue, right, I felt the warmth from the chords. Like,
Wow.
yeah, so it was so contrasting. It's like the color blue, but I see warmth. I see like a amber glow,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Wow, so fun, so fun.
Yeah.
It's so good, like what you were sharing, because I think that has always been like a paradoxical like tension for like our faith. Like, what does it mean like to follow God? Then I must die to it. I must surrender. I must yield. What does it feel like? I have to give it up. It doesn't make sense, But just hearing you release your song, it's almost like if we can hold the things that we hold on so tightly, loosely, and allow God to shape our identity according to how He sees us, like everything that we have in our life becomes made new. And so as you were releasing your song just now, it was so you, and so free,
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I think that dying to self part is really, like bitterly I was holding on to it because I was afraid of what was going to happen if I let go. Then when you let go, God really shows you there are even parts of yourself that you never ever knew, but He sees it all, He knows what you're capable of and what He can use you for. And yeah, I'm just glad that we are here to experience that. What a privilege, right?
Yeah, I also find it very fun that like the both of you, you are married and you're like writing songs together. Like that is something that I dream to have with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, I have to say that it wasn't always smooth sailing because, like he said, for the longest time he didn't feel like writing was his thing, but something happened over the last year, and God really worked on his heart, and I think that he realized God was calling him to a different role than maybe what he originally envisioned.
I think now, just in writing and producing music, I'm a bit more sensitive to what I'm doing, to the point that I almost have no interest in writing my own songs, like my own smooth jazz tunes that I have half the album done, and it's been more than 3 years, and I'm still halfway done, because, sometimes I just, I was doing it for the sake of doing, just because I should complete it and not leave anything hanging, but I would rather, now contribute to songs like this than, my own stuff, so just at a different place, and maybe I'll get back that, fire for writing my own songs. And I think even recently, I was thinking of just renaming it, and just renaming all my songs, and just putting a God perspective on it, and hopefully that would do the trick. So I'll see how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much for that song.
No problem at all.
All right, so I'm probably gonna just share a song, and talking about a dream couple like this, a dream married couple. I want to talk a little bit about my girlfriend.
You're also a dream couple,
Huh?
Yeah.
You're also a dream couple.
Not married yet.
Not married.
Yeah. So like the status on like single, married, divorced. Like I still take single. I cannot say having a girlfriend yet. But I mean. So for me, going through this journey, I still remember like. When I came back to Christ, and I mean, having shared in previous episodes of like, how the journey was, being a prodigal son and coming back, and I was like, wow, I feel like I feel so free in the sense of like being under the sort of supervision of God's love, that love that was, like so, that encapsulated me so much. And at that same time, right, there was this other part of me that was like, I felt too, how to say, ashamed or fearful or like to be in a relationship because, the life that I used to live was really wild and I felt like I wasn't good enough for a relationship because like if I'm going to date a girl, right, she's going to be like she has to be like a really like love God and like and I felt like I was not good enough because she must be very good and like the standard is so high and I felt like undeserving so I told God, I said if I'm going to stay single and Paul did it, Jesus did it, I don't mind. But if you prepared a wife for me, I have one request. And I said, make her a prayer warrior.
Wow.
Because I knew that was someone who would be so close to God because she's always talking to Him. And I want someone like that in my life because I lived that life. I want to live that life too, And, from a few conversations with friends and all that, they kind of brought us together. And I got to meet her, got to know her, and I was like, wow, this girl is so interesting, that's why I'm wearing her hat today, her brand,
Wow.
Shameless advertising here.
Hey.
Paradigm Shift label, everyone check it out.
Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in.
Cut.
So like, when I met her, I was like I still remember the first two times I met her, there was not really like like interest in that sense. We were interested in each other, but we didn't know if like maybe we were seeing other people or whatever lah. So I told myself, I kind of told myself, but I guess God hears everything, right? So I was like, okay, if she adds me on any social, so I met her face to face, but we've never exchanged contacts or anything, right? So I said, if she added me on any social media page, right, I will talk to her, right? I will speak to her through that, yeah. And during that period, right, I remember it was a week and I was meeting like different people, like pastors were like trying to introduce me to like girls, like
Wow,
good
man.
ladies and
Whoa.
everything, they're good and everything. But I realized that after
I tried to introduce my cousin to him, by the way. That's alright.
You were one of those
Part of the waiting list. But
By the way, I'm sorry, Pris cousin. I'm taken.
happily.
Happily taken. So like just meeting. But I realized every time I met up with different people, they were really awesome people. But like I kept comparing, not comparing, but like I kept seeing her, like Audris, and I was like, why I cannot get this girl out of my head? Like I only met her twice and I already feel like I know her so well. So I wanted to get to know her lah. And then she added me on Instagram.
That's it.
And I was like, it's time to slide into the DMs. So I said, Ni Hao.
Ni Hao.
Yeah, and the rest was history. Like, we got together and, we went on our first date. I remember it was October 20th, 2020. Right, that was last year. And that was our very first like date. Okay, to her it's not a date, because apparently girls would only call it a date. I mean, that's what she said, Girls would only call it a date if you call it a date. Right, so it's a first meeting, right? But to me, it was a date. So met up with her and had a really good time. We spent like the time that we set, we kind of extended it all the way. And we had so much fun, just sharing stories and sharing hearts and even sharing about like what God has put in our hearts in terms of missions-wise, like what God has called us to do, what our purpose is. And we realized we align so much, in the same realms that God has called us. And our stories were so aligned, and we were like, and I was like, wow, okay, like I need to know this girl, and I need to like pray about this, right? So I went back home that night and she went for dinner, and I was at home, and I was like, I had so much feelings, right? I was so into this girl. So I took my guitar out and I wanted to express my feelings out in some way, whether it's words or just a melody lah. And I started playing this melody, and one like just it was so organic, and I've never written a song this fast before. But it was like within 3 hours, I just like churn out this song, and it's called First Bloom Feeling. Yeah, and you know, every time I see her, she speaks so much life. Like it's almost like when she speaks, the words like kind of grow stuff in this garden, this metaphorical garden. You know, I'm very visual, so like I just get a lot of this kind of feelings, right? And I think because of that, like I felt like it was springtime, you know. It was like meeting her and experiencing this love was like springtime, you know. And I felt God was saying like, it's springtime, you know, it's time for the colors to bloom, you know, for what you have been through and all that like shame and self rejection and not wanting to date people and all that, like, you know, it's finally here lah, you know. So prayed about it, and I straight away sent her I prepared the song, didn't send her yet, but I was like, the day I asked her to be my girlfriend, I play her the song, right? Didn't happen because like, I kind of like let the cat out of the bag, and I just played it for her on another day lah. But yeah, so I think for me, realizing that I'm going into this season of being in a relationship, I'm also learning about how is it like for Jesus to come for his bride, right? You know, in the Bible where we talk about like, you know, Jesus is the groom, his church is the bride, you know, his people, right? And I remember before I met her, I was actually on this fathers and husbands course lah. I had no reason to be there, but my pastor kind of like just said you have to go lah. Then I'm like, okay lah, I just go, right? Prepare myself or whatever. And then I realized that you know, there was this revelation lah, you know, about how you know, when people get married, right, they are living prophetically as an example of how Christ will be to his church when they meet.
Yeah.
You know, and every marriage has that divine solidarity lah, you know. And I was like, I want that. So now in the season of like being in a relationship, she's my girlfriend, I'm still pursuing her, and I still want to pursue her my whole life, you know. And it's like, I want that first bloom feeling to always be there. Yeah, so yeah, maybe I should join the song now. Yeah. Oh, I talked very long.
Can't wait to hear it.
Thank you. All right, so this song is called First Bloom Feeling.
My soul, all I need. Let us sit and rest with coffee, and we'll watch the colors bloom. Oh, they bloom first in spring. Oh no, it's not the same. Should I catch this on my own? Oh no, sure as the wind, you'll take you as we go, yeah. Just like the seas, the tides don't breathe on their own. Just like the seasons change, we don't know it all. Just like the trees, they grow oh so tall. This is the first bloom feeling. I'm knocking at your door. Oh no, it's not the same. Should I catch this on my own? Oh no, sure as the wind, you'll take you as we go, yeah. to my soul, all I need. Let us sit and rest with coffee, and we'll watch the colors bloom. Oh, they bloom first in spring, first in spring.
Wow, man.
I love it.
Thank
So
you.
good.
Hey, the girl confirm fall in love lah like that.
Yeah.
Cannot lah. Oh, that was beautiful,
Yeah,
man.
so good.
Yeah, I remember writing it and I was like, oh wow, like I mean, you know, like I've always written like love songs, but like writing in the perspective of like if the groom was chasing his bride, like how would it be like, right? And I wanted it to be like as gentle and raw as possible. Yeah. But yeah, after I did it, I was like, whoa, like, you know, immediately like save all the voice memos and like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah.
It's such a powerful analogy, I feel. Because oftentimes we feel like in religion, we feel stuck in this like God is some faraway person that I have to like send an email to reach, you know. But you know, when you sing it like this, like the degree of intimacy is so tangible and so close, so sweet, you know. And it feels like God is drawing us into that kind of a relationship where religion is turning into a relationship. Yeah, so it's really beautiful. Like saying to Jesus, first bloom, man.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like as much as it is like a love song for Audrey's, it's God's love letter to you also.
Yeah.
It's like so beautiful. Yeah, and I think that whoever listens to this song will feel it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So sweet.
Anyway, Josh, his nickname is Josh Hua.
Hua,
Yeah,
like
you know?
flower.
Like
Yeah, like it's a Chinese word. So that's why.
Oh, Joshua. Okay,
so
I just got it.
Yeah. That's why first bloom, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
first bloom, so I'm
Yeah.
blooming, guys.
Yeah, man. From the moment you were given
Yeah.
that name.
I know, and you know what? We also found out that Audrey's Chinese name
Yeah.
is Racial, so it's blooming poem. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we were like, wow, flowers is a thing, for us. And we're like, okay.
I thought you were gonna say her name is like Mei Gui or something.
More poetic.
Yeah, I think when you were talking
Yeah.
about first bloom feeling, like it really resonated because I've been married for 6 years already, and I always remember that first bloom feeling. I don't know whether you remember, like the first time you look at each other in the eyes, first time you hold hands, that kind of thing. And how do you keep that alive? You know, how do you remember that? And I think it's a very real thing, lah. And I wrote this song actually when I was feeling very, very lukewarm about everything. So everything in life, you know, I felt like, okay, Sunday I go to church, you know, I'm in the worship team. Like I do all these things. I do my music, I'm a mom, I look after my kid. Like everything that I do felt like just things that I do, you know? And I wasn't like really wholehearted about anything, but I was just doing things like the bare minimum, you know? So I wrote this song when I felt like, wow, actually, it's okay, like I can just do the bare minimum and still get by. You know, like I'm not gonna die. I don't think God's gonna kill me for being lukewarm. And it was a struggle in me because I felt like, wow, there's something that I need to hold on to. Like I know that God is here. I know that I can do things on my own, right? Like through my own strength and everything. But is that how I want to live? So that was something that I really, really struggled with. Yeah, so in this song, yeah, it was just a cry to God that like even though I'm lukewarm about things, but just don't leave me, you know? I just want to be where you are, and I want you to be here, but I just want to do my own thing, you know? So it was like a balance of things that I wanted to do versus what He wanted me to do. And a season of just like waiting for a lot of things to happen, but it wasn't happening. Yeah, and I think when you were sharing about being a songwriter as well, like I think it's a very vulnerable position to be in. Because when you write songs, like you have to tell the story, right? Yeah. You can just sing a song, sure. You can put it up on Spotify, but I feel like when you write songs, what connects the song to people is like the struggle that you wrote it out of, the challenges that you went through, that birthed the song. So I was just having this conversation with my husband right before we came, So he was asking me like, hey, why don't you put your songs out? Yeah, so I was thinking like, wow. Then the whole world's gonna know like my life, like every song I put out, they're gonna know like, oh, we quarreled on this night, or like, oh, I'm waiting for this to happen, It's just like an open book. And I felt that it was very, very scary. Yeah, but then I just think that beyond my own fears and my own struggles, like what does God want us to do through our songs, through our struggles, everything that He puts us through, I think that speaks to people more than putting out a perfect song about a perfect life. I mean, no offense to like happy songs, but I just feel like in this season of my life, like this is what I need to do, Yeah.
Restless world, chaotic mind. I never once remembered why my head and heart sing a different song, and I don't know just how it ends. Don't ever turn away from me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow. Wow,
Good.
that's
So good.
It's like,
My voice was breaking.
it sounded good.
The emotions really flowed through, man. I feel it.
well, like the orchestra background.
Yeah.
Goosebumps, really.
Oh. Yeah.
So good.
It was like such a deep like cry and desire when you sing. Yeah, and like just now when I was like closing my eyes and like just listening and like I almost felt like you know like the like all the different types of cheese when you grate it together,
Yeah.
you know, and then it's like you mix it together, right? And then it's all very individual, but then like when it's heated up, right, like you get like really nice grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like in that heat, right, that the cheese had to go through,
Yeah.
you know, of different colors, right? It
You're
melt-
hungry, is it?
Yeah, I'm very hungry. Hey, I've been on this vegetarian diet, right? And I cannot.
It's tough. It's really tough.
It's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just felt like that heat makes a good taste, you know, good cheese, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. And I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to that season that you were going through of like, but I think the most important thing is that you still went back to him and say like, help me believe in the things that I'm far from believing, you know. And I feel like he knows, he rejoices when you turn to him instead of turning away. And I think that makes all the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think adding on to that, like before you sang, right, I saw like, you know, one of our old classrooms overhead projectors, as we will call it OHP, right? You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
and,
OHP.
OHP. Wow. You know, but as you were saying, like, come back, you know, it's like almost going back to the things of old, the simplicity of things, of relationship. And man, I think in this world, like, there are so many things that are grabbing our attention, and life gets very like tangled and complicated. Like, our hearts are pulled in many directions. But the OHP, right, is just an OHP, or it only has that one function.
That's right.
You know? And like God is like saying, man, if you go back to where you first started, you would find all that you've ever needed and wanted.
Wow.
Yeah, so as you're singing that song, it's like, whoa, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And now we have Dan, the amazing Dan, who is playing the saxophone today. Yeah.
So maybe I can share a bit about this song. So this song is actually the last song on my first album, and it's called Grace. And you know, I really marvel as I was preparing for today, you know, just thinking back about how this song was created. So I left my day job and I locked myself in a studio space. Actually, it was the cave. I don't think you guys have been there. So this studio space, and for like 2-3 months, just practicing and writing music, because I knew like in about 3-4 months time I was going to fly to LA to record my first album. So, you know, one of the days, you know, when I was planning the songs, writing the songs, I just sat at the piano and I really just knew what I wanted to write already. But that was the old me. You know, I thought like theoretically I knew how the chord structure should be. So everything flowed nicely. I knew what type of sound I wanted. So I wrote it really quickly. And even just thinking of the name Grace, the melody just flowed out. Like I would say, I think 10 minutes I was done with the song. And I knew it was not going to be like a radio single because it's a ballad. And yeah, but I knew I wanted a song like this on the album. And it's definitely not really classified under smooth jazz or contemporary jazz, which the album was supposed to be, but I didn't care. I just wanted to put it in there. So I prepared very simple charts. It was just a lead sheet, just chords, rough structure, no melody, nothing. So I remember when I was in LA, I just printed out these charts and passed it to every musician. So my producer got like the A-list LA session musicians to play this on this album. So yeah, the drummer, bassist, keyboardist, and guitarist all got the same chart. So I just passed it to them, and I think we jammed it once, and we were ready to record. So actually the idea was for me to record with the band just as a guide track, and then go back to my producer's studio and retrack the saxophone properly. So, you know, the musicians were just looking at it for the first time and literally just sight reading. And the crazy thing was, we were all in different rooms. So I was in a room by myself. Keyboardists, bassists, and guitarists were sharing another room at the main control room of the studio. And the drummer was one level below us. So he could only be seen through video. So, and there's no vocal communication or whatsoever. So that was how we recorded. So I just went, this was the first take, so I just played and I just tried to play my best. I'm sure all the musicians were just trying to figure out, just listen and play to their best. But it felt really good. And then after the song, even the ending, if you guys hear the original, the drummer didn't know what to do. Yeah, because I was holding a long note and he was pausing it there. And I think after a while, he was like, okay, let me just end this. He just did a drum fill and ended the song because he couldn't see what was happening upstairs. So, but yeah, that made it to the song. And when we were listening back, and it just felt really nice, but I knew that probably could do better. But my producer was like, you know what? I don't see anything wrong with that version. That's it. We're done. Wow. I was like, so I was really shocked because firstly, I wasn't very used to what the recording standards were like there. So obviously the musicians didn't make any mistakes. And I think my producer was just very old school style. He just wants you to not overthink it and overdo it. So if you can do the first take, that would be great. So basically what made it on the album was that version, that first so-called jam test. And and ever since, a lot of people have told me that's the favorite song on their album.
Yes.
And sometimes it doesn't take much. But last time, I was always thinking that, it flowed well because, it's a simple song and I knew what I wanted. But I think on hindsight, it's, when we, I think God can make things very, very smooth especially if it's for Him in that sense. So I really dedicated that song to Him. And in every single live show that I play, that has always been a way for me to just not preach, but, to share my beliefs, and why I call it grace. Because the thing about instrumental music is I can call it any name. Right, but I think calling it grace, just allowed me to share a bit more.
Right.
And I was fortunate to be able to travel all around many countries to promote this album, and I shared the same message. And most of the time I end has become more of my voice. There's just a bit deeper, warmer sound.
Wow.
So looking
Amazing.
forward to sharing this song with you guys.
Yes, can't wait to hear it. Yeah. What? How does one make wind sound so good?
Wind, yeah, that's true, right?
Like, I'm just
Essentially.
yeah, it's like I'm just thinking like the breath in your lungs, right,
Yeah.
is coming out in such a
Yeah.
melody.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah, but I realized I forgot to share, why I chose this word. So, because it's one of my favorite words, and every time I play the song, I'm really just trying to channel that just feeling so blessed at all that has been given to me, and and a lot of the times just things that are out of my control, and yeah, just feeling so grateful and blessed, and yeah, so just trying to always channel that and being thankful for everything that I've been given. Yeah, so yeah, that's the meaning behind this song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my!
Yeah, man.
Both Josh and I were shaking our heads in disbelief.
Yeah,
It's like, wow.
Back to my Kenny G days,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The OG. And I have to say, every time he closes every show with this song, it's really such a great opportunity for people to know who Daniel Chia is and why he's even standing there on that stage. I feel it every time he plays it. And he plays it always slightly differently every time because, I mean, after all, he's a jazz musician. Yeah, but the message is always the same, that, grace is why he's there and grace is why everyone is here. Yeah, so, yeah, hopefully, for me, especially as an audience member, it always makes me think about it after the show ends, and it's beyond Daniel Chia, it's beyond the saxophone and beyond that night of music. It's about them going home and thinking about who they are and what their place is in their lives. Yeah. So thank you for writing that song.
Thank you. Yeah, and every time I try to be too fancy with it, try to put in all this jazz stuff, God will definitely make me fumble. So, so just now I just kept it clean and not try to be too funny. Yeah. So it's really just that core message. Hopefully people will feel it. Yeah.
I definitely felt it when I learned the song last night.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and then I was like, how come I got lyrics when I was playing those? So I was like, but it's like only 2 lines. It's like the chorus, like, I am free to love, I am free to dance. Then no more already. That's it.
Wow. That's so
I
good.
didn't
We
go
should
more.
definitely.
Let's take this
work
further.
out.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my!
That would be.
Yeah, that's what I felt when I was learning the song.
Yeah.
And like, wow, like because of God's grace that we can love and we can dance freely,
Amen.
Yeah.
And I think this song has deviated so much from the original version. I don't know how the original.
Yeah, the studio
what I
version sounds
recorded.
very different from how he plays it live.
Yeah, until you reminded me.
Yeah.
So I'm the last guy.
Yes.
The last person. I'm gonna play a song called Complete, and I guess that's the end of today.
Is that-
Complete.
How apt.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Did not plan it at all.
Yeah, but just hearing everyone's message and everyone's stories, just reminded me so much of a God who was intimately close with Adam and Eve, at the beginning of days in the garden. And it was so interesting because I remember the story so clearly, when they sinned and, hiding from God. And the Bible talked about how they heard the sound of God as he approached. It was almost like they recognized his sound. And no one knows what sound it was. Was it a gigantic foot crushing forest or whatever?
Right.
But they heard a sound. And when I read something like this, it tells me of familiarity. It tells me of how deeply they knew God, the kind of relationship that that they had. It is almost like my wife gave me a stare, across a room of 30 people. Maybe she doesn't need to say anything. I kind of okay, I know. I think there's a message behind that, Right. Yeah, but it's as a result of that close relationship. That as we were talking about all the things that we're sharing today, God looks at us with one glance, and you know, we walk through life, and I feel like there are so many like anxieties that we have, you know. We always feel like we are trying to gain satisfaction, trying to gain approval, trying to get that career, trying to get that security, trying to get that kind of ideal Instagram life, whatever it may be. But when the Lord looks at us, just one glance, like every cry is met, every desire is fulfilled.
Amen.
And today I just feel like, man, I want to hear the sound of His coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, this song is called Complete. Yeah.
Amazing.
Just with one glance you see through my defense. Your kindness keeps me safe within your hands. All my hope is found in you, O Lord. Though in my pain I cannot comprehend how much you gave so I can stand again. You will never, ever let me go. You spoke and now it is complete. Your blood has won the victory. In darkness hope will rise again. Nothing can hold us back from your embrace. The cross has buried all my shame. My past made whole only by grace. A miracle within the grave. Your mighty love has raised me from the dead. It's you alone I praise. Here in my darkest hour when hope is gone, you stood by me and made your presence known. All I need is found in you, O Lord. You spoke and now it is complete. Your blood has won the victory. In darkness hope will rise again. Nothing can hold us back from your embrace. The cross has buried all my shame. My past made whole only by grace. A miracle within the grave. Your mighty love has raised me from the dead. It's you alone I praise. You are all that I need, all I want, all I seek. In your love I am complete. Take this heart, make it yours, glorify you alone. All I have in this life for you alone. Oh Lord, you spoke and now it is complete. Your blood has won the victory. In darkness hope will rise again. Nothing can hold us back from your embrace. The cross has buried all my shame. My past made whole only by grace. A
Yeah.
Oh
wow.
my. Oh my. Like,
Just
when I hear it, right, like I almost feel like a father dancing with a daughter. Like his daughter, sorry. Like, and it's such a beautiful, like, I don't know, there's something very like almost like I don't know, that vibe of Disney, but not Disney song.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like there is a dance that is going on with a
Yeah.
father and a child, and it's like so grand. It just feels so grand.
Yeah, I feel like it's really so grand yet so intimate at the same
Yeah,
time, you know.
yeah.
And I think sometimes I forget that the person that we call father and a friend is somebody who is the creator of the universe. You spoke and it is complete. That's how powerful it is. But yet we get to have such a relationship with him, and just how privileged are we? Just makes me so thankful.
I feel like this will be an amazing song for a wedding too.
Oh,
Like march in, the father march the daughter in.
that's
Oh
so
my.
sweet. Yeah, man.
All right, so we've come to the end of our Ember session episode. It's a crazy journey today, crazy journey. I mean, we went from identity to falling in love and then going through the struggles of like, you know, finding out like where do we stand, you know, like the lukewarmness and like do we go hot, do we go cold, you know? And then after that, we went into a whole journey of like, you know, grace, you know, how one song one word that has spoken to Dan, you know, brought him all the way to America to write the song, to produce the song, you know, and then bring him back to Singapore, and it's become like the song that he plays at the end is like, you know, Amazing Grace, you know, of where he is today. And then we end with, you know, completing the whole journey.
Yeah.
And I feel like this episode was just filled with like love, like, and I was just listening, right, to everyone talking and sharing, right, and I just realized like I'm with like a bunch of married people, and I'm like, oh my, I need to learn from y'all, and like I just suddenly saw the four of y'all being like so much wealth of like wisdom that you are going through in your life, and that like just me like just like receiving all of it and learning, you know, like yeah. So I'm just so thankful for everyone. Before we end, I would love to, you know, do some plugs. So where can we find your stuff? Yeah.
So the song that I performed is not out yet, but it might be soon. You can always search for me on all socials at hellomisslou, or you can follow the studio at Loudanclear Co.
Yes, that's right. And if you want to see the very cool chandelier that is right behind the cameras, which we won't show you, please come down to this space as well.
Yes, that's right.
And how can we find your stuff then?
Yeah, you can look for me on all social media platforms at danielchiaofficial or danielchiaofficial.com. And yeah, reach out if you ever want to use this space, you know, just reach out. We're at 150 Sims Drive.
Yeah.
And we hope to be able to use this more often for cool projects.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was so happy. Yeah. And for the viewers out there, you know, just like every single week that we churn out new music and at the same time, you know, putting out episodes, you know, join us at the next episode where we'll have new friends, new songs, and definitely new stories to tell. So till the next episode, we'll see you again. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. That's the camera there.